everyone, welcome to 2016 Intel Extreme Master 10 in Taipei. Hello， 所有我们现场的观众朋友们，还有在收看我们直播的电竞迷们，大家好，欢迎来到2016台北国际电脑展。相信呢，我们现在所有的观众朋友。
All right, guys, so it is time to sink our teeth into the Asian action here over in Taipei. And guys, first match is going to be CyberZen versus Risky Gaming. So quick thoughts on this before we jump into the bracket.
This is where one of those matches where you say this is just an extreme case of like a massive favorite in CyberZen. Even talking to the Risky Gaming guys, nice guys. Met a couple of them last night in the elevator on the way down. You could tell they were a little bit nervous about being here. Never been to an event of this size, of this kind of stature. And also just the fact that they know they're going up against a team that's vastly superior to them in terms of experience, in terms of skill probably. So they have a large mountain to climb here, but they're here for the experience. That's exactly what he said to me. He was like, listen, this is going to be great experience. We're going to see what this is like to be in a venue, to get this kind of a game under our belts. And then we can build off that. And that's what they need to be looking for here.
Yeah, I think there's a really healthy attitude to have going forward.
Let's jump into the bracket, Halvor.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on the look here of the bracket, and see, because of course first match might not go quite so well, but there's not just gonna be one match for these guys. So here you go.
Yeah, no, CyberZen versus Risky is we've kind of talked about it, a bit of an uneven matchup. At least that's what we're expecting. MVP versus Chiefs is probably my pick for a game to look out for today. I'm really looking forward to that, and I think whoever wins, whoever comes out ahead in that matchup is going to be a dark horse to actually do some damage in this tournament.
Do you think if Risky Gaming actually, so if Risky Gaming lose this match,
yeah,
and MVP Carnal Chiefs Esports is kind of up in the air for that one, do you think Risky Gaming are going to have a better chance against those two teams?
Yeah, well, I think even so, their second match will go much better than their first, because they're going to be dealing with the noise, they're going to be dealing with being on a stage in front of a crowd, things they've never experienced before, more than likely. And once they have that in one match, they'll know what to expect. So going forward in the second match today, I think they'll be a lot more loose, a lot less nervous, and they'll be able to play a little bit more of their game. And then, yeah, I'm really excited for that Chiefs and MVP match, just because the word on Chiefs is similar to what we're saying about all these Asian teams, is they have some skilled players. They have some players who in the Australian scene I've been told are impressive. They've kind of blown up in the past year or two in terms of their individual skill, but they don't have experience. The only member on this team that's been to an international event is Top Gun, and that was with Vox Seminor, and he hasn't even been playing for the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Or whenever
Katowice last year. No, so, Katowice in March.
Yeah, so I mean, that's going to be another situation where their players just have to get used to this experience.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Halvor, we're actually going to be looking at taking a look at CyberZen now. So give us a bit of a run through on CyberZen and their lineup.
Well, obviously the two biggest profiles in this team is Savage and TB, the 1.6 veterans. Savage being one of the greatest 1.6 players from the Asian region ever. So he's obviously a big name for them. Then you have the three newcomers in Advent, Shoking, and Uki. But Uki, previously named Auman. So for those who followed CS in Asia earlier, might know him under that nickname. Those two actually have more or less ran the flag for China in terms of CSGO more than both TB and Savage, because Savage and TB, they used to be casters. And while they were casting games, all the big European tournaments and whatnot, those other three went to ESWCs with POW and those kind of guys. So
casters have game.
Yeah.
Except for Anders.
Wow.
Also salty,
by just firing shots.
Damn, you're really...
I'm actually surprised you guys got laptops for losing. Seems like you're pretty big,
Well,
constellation.
I like how you can still trigger Moses with this. But we'll be jumping into Risky Gaming. So Moses, you've been looking into Risky Gaming. They don't even have a national TV page, but you have some information for us here.
Yeah, well, I mean, Havoc is probably the only player on this team that we really have heard of that's had a pass. So, I mean, the rest of these players, like we said, I mean, they're just very, very unknown, very inexperienced. So coming into this, these guys as a team are going to need to keep the pace a little bit slow, make sure you're not getting gimmicked by anything. Make sure that, because we see it all the time, even in North American versus European, when there's such a disparity in skill level, the better team is going to just try force you to make them respect you. They're going to be very aggressive. They're going to be wide out in the open, just taking fights. So they need to slow things down, keep calm, play their own game.
Yeah, try to control the pace.
Yeah.
Like, let it go in your tempo instead of allowing CyberZen to basically do whatever they want. It's like when Fnatic play online games.
Yeah.
They will basically rush you every single round until you show that you can actually stop them. And if you don't, then they're just going to continue on.
Yeah, then
they will break you.
Yeah.
They will break you.
That's the harsh reality with a team like Fnatic. And, well, it's going to be quite interesting to see how this matchup goes, because we already have the map. It's Cbble. I do have the Vitas as well, so we can throw that into the discussion quickly. Again, of course, CyberZen, we saw them playing against FaZe over at Star Series. I think at that point they were still G2, but we saw essentially the two best maps from FaZe. Like Inferno, Cash, these are two fantastic maps for them. But CyberZen were able to play very close against them, and as we see that reflected here, Risky have done their homework. Those were the first two bans from Risky.
That's actually really promising that it seemed like Risky Gaming actually did their research coming into this event, looked into what maps to ban, the maps they just recently played good European competition on, played them very closely, so they take those two maps out. That's promising to me that these guys, are into this, that have been preparing for this event. So it actually makes me very curious to what we're going to see out of Cbble.
Yeah, no, it should be pretty interesting. And it's to just continue on what you said, the fact that when you prepare for an event and you then proceed to potentially lose, you can actually pick up so much more from that, because you've already gone into the tournament knowing that you're supposed to expect this, and that. So how did we still lose? Like, actually having that kind of a mindset and being able to learn from that is going to be absolutely massive for a team like Risky.
Well, this is the big thing about preparation too, right? Because this is a new experience, because they have the lights, they have the noise, the casters coming through, they have the noise of all these booths, an environment they've never played in. So they can fall back on that preparation, and that's what's going to make them feel comfortable, is knowing that they've practiced, knowing that they prepared, get the map they want to play on, things of that nature. So, I mean, that's where you have to fall back and have confidence in your preparation, so that moving forward into this event, into this new experience, you don't have to worry too much.
Right, and we do have the knife round pretty much ready to go, and as far as the knife round goes, quickly let's talk about before we make the predictions, how impactful is winning the knife round, because Cbble can be pretty T-sided. So
I don't think it's like massive determining factor, but I think it is good. Just once again, as being such huge underdogs, just get the side you want to start on. And also,
who wants to start on CT on Cbble?
Yeah. That I actually think that if I'm
special
Risky,
tactics. That's the other thing.
Right,
we got White Raw special tactics in here. See StarCraft, we do love you.
Aww.
Unless you're Henry G, because Henry G has no idea who White Raw is.
No, he probably doesn't know what StarCraft is.
He's a heathen.
Dude, there's a lot of issues with Henry G that we need to address at some point.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think his entire music library is Morrissey.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, no, Cbble is going to be interesting. I think they actually want to go for the T side because that's how you get to control the pace the most.
Yeah, and for inexperienced teams, I mean, even Cbble being more T-sided, generally speaking, the CT side is difficult. But just on any map in general, when you're the inexperienced team, it's easier as Terra's side to just say, all right, we're getting beat up across the map. If something's going wrong, if your tactics aren't working, it's so much easier to just say, all right, guys, let's group up. Let's get 4 people here, 1 person watch the flank, and let's just go, and let's just focus on trading. Let's make things simple. So much easier to do that when you can dictate where the action is going to be heading on the map.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, T-side, I would expect if Risky actually ends up winning the knife. I think they might be in for a rough go of it.
It seems pretty rough regardless because of Savage's potential impact, actually, because it's always good to have a strong AWPer, right? Do you feel like Risky Gaming has something that can go toe-to-toe with Savage and Yorp that we saw doing mad damage over against FaZe?
Well, from obviously tough to find information on Risky, and especially impossible to find demos, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
But actually having played with Havoc, way back when, he wasn't an AWPer, from what I can recall. So I don't know if Risky actually has a dedicated AWPer who could, in any case, go toe-to-toe with Savage. And that might be a massive issue because he can tear them apart on Cbble.
It's quite a good point, actually, because there are, we don't see it as much, because I think we have almost kind of this cookie-cutter mold to an extent of how to have a lineup and who to play what role and so on and so forth. But there has been, precedent in the past, very old Virtus Pro, where they didn't even use the AWP very much on maps like Mirage, which is like an insanely good map for an AWP, or, teams like a really old edition of Mihu's G2 an age ago, the Polish squad. They just had loads of riflers, and they made it work with a fast dynamic style. So there's perhaps room for that on a map like Cbble, which can be highly coordinated as well.
You kind of have it today as well. If you Dignitas now, even though MSL is occasionally picking up the AWP, mainly they go with rifles, and it's working for them. They had a really good showing at Leipzig, so there's definitely potential to actually do well with that kind of a style as well. So it's not necessary to have an AWPer in your team, but I think it could definitely be beneficial, especially if you're stuck in ruts and your strategies aren't working, your executes aren't going as well as you want to. If you can have an AWP to just get that first pick off, And that could be massive for
well, one thing too is even if you have an Opper, maybe you don't think he's at the level to go toe-to-toe with Savage. I mean, the best way to do it, and we talked about this, is one of the keys for Risky Gaming. If they want to make an upset here, they have to control that economy. So keep the op out of Savage's hands. Just keep CyberZen away from it. Get him into a situation where, you know, if you go up 5-0, if you go up 6-0, 6-1, whatever it might be, if you have so many rounds on them, they just can't afford to save couple rounds in a row to get that AWP. So if you get them into that, you know, economic hell, then all of a sudden you have a huge advantage. And on top of that, you don't have to worry about Savage with the AWP. So I mean that's a dream scenario, right? That's like if everything goes perfect.
Right. I was just about to say, because whenever you're on the analyst desk, you're like doing the analysis, you're kind of like looking at past results, you're looking at players, and you're kind of expecting kind of maybe even the mean kind of performance or the average from a player. And it's not always the case. You know, people have bad games. The pressure can get to them. There's like psychological aspects of playing in different environments that can make people underperform. Or let's say, you know, FaZe's case at the last major, everyone overperforms, like all 5 players, which is absolutely ridiculous. So as far as the Risky Gaming team goes, do we need everyone performing here? How many people from CyberZen need to perform? Do we just need Savage to perform? Is it like Guardian with Na'Vi to that extent?
It's really hard to tell because we haven't seen Risky Gaming against any kind of meaningful competition, so we don't really know what they're going to come out with in terms of what level they can be at against strong teams. So maybe CyberZen only needs Savage. Maybe they come out and it's that much of a beatdown that he just goes off. Maybe everyone just has a good game and they can win that way, but it's just really, really hard to tell. That's why this is such an interesting minor, because we're going to get to see all these teams we don't normally see against good competition.
Right. Sorry. Go
well,
ahead.
actually, we're talking a lot about Savage, obviously, because he's the biggest profile on that team. But just in domestic lineups or domestic matchups and that type of thing, the guy from CyberZen to actually come up big oftentimes is Soaking. So versus lesser opponents, he kind of goes ham. That's what he does. That's how he gets the stats. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he could be like the
regional king.
Yeah, exactly. If he's gonna be an absolute beaster. So maybe Savage just chills out until they start running into teams like Renegades.
Saves it for later.
All right. So I have a topic now, which might be a bit sensitive. It's sensitive for me. So as established, it's a new international event for first time experience for quite a few of these teams and players. Risky Gaming amongst them. What were your first international tournament experiences like? Because for me, it wasn't so nice.
Wait, what event was your first one? Was it Singapore?
Oh, it looks like I might be saved by the bell here because we have the knife round kicking off.
We can talk about that later.
We can get into that later on.
There's more segments to be had.
It's like you know, sitting around the dinner table and everyone talking about like the topic of school comes up and everyone's like, no one had a good experience from school. So, all right, so we established that. Side doesn't matter too much. So quick predictions, guys.
CyberZen.
Just 16-0 territory.
I'm gonna give.
You're gonna give a piss around there.
I'm gonna give Risky 3 rounds. They might get.
I'll give him 6, 7.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay, 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
So that's not too bad.
What a nice guy.
A couple pistol rounds here or there.
This is like the charity noodles edition of Moses I saw yesterday. It's like 6 or 7 rounds.
I've been a nice guy lately.
That's like 2 pistols and 1 round.
Taipei has changed you.
Yeah, right.
It really has.
I'm a nice person when I'm here.
I mean, after the creamy Moses.
Enjoy it now.
Like, the darkness was brewing inside of you.
I'm slowing down, so now I'm getting back to normal. Out of my supervillain phase. So just enjoy it while it lasts, boys, because once we leave Taipei, Anders especially is going down.
I have never seen you so happy. This is brilliant. I think everybody is quite happy here.
Yeah.
I mean, the food's great. It's actually like a thing I had in Singapore as well. But I think it's time to get into the game. So, guys, we'll throw over to the casters. We do have the lovely Anders and Semler, the Room on Fire duo, to take it away.
Thank you very much. We are about to go live. It's day 1 of Taipei Intel Extreme Masters. I'm here with Semler. Of course, Moses says I'm going down this event.
In what way?
I think he's planning. He wants to do another talent match, but the thing is, NA is just actually 1 talent short for this one. Unless you bring in Cho, who's running the show.
Does he count?
Could do like a 3v3 with him. I said I'd do a 1v1 with him, so I've got nothing to lose.
I know, right? It is Moses having to like fight his way back at this point, bro.
Yeah, for me, it's just like, some random play-by-play caster, losing. Him, it's like, ex-CPL player loses. And, it's a little bit more pressure on him there. The panel, it seemed to be decidedly favoring CyberZen. Obviously, they're one of the big names here, so that's not surprising. Risky Gaming, so many jokes to be made with that seminar, but let's just wait for now and worry about. I mean, I do think they're going to have really a tough time, and especially like they were talking about the LAN experience, the big event experience. When you don't have it, it's so hard.
I think for the most part, we're looking at CyberZen to make it out of this group, if not at the top, pretty close to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Risky, they kind of they drew a bit of a tough match to start things off for him here, especially considering all the factors that were mentioned on the desk earlier, the fact that these guys are nervous right now. They aren't used to playing on LAN. They aren't used to these events. CyberZen, they just came back from Minsk. They have a little bit more experience in this matter. International scene there, long travel.
Tough game versus Navi, but really good versus FaZe.
Versus G2, yeah, versus FaZe. I mean, G2 at the time, right? CyberZen just have a little bit more experience, so that's probably going to play out here. And already, we see, at least for CyberZen, straight up Kevlar across the board, apart from one smoke, and that's on Advent.
Look at Soaking as well, picking up the Tech 9 armor combo. Kit, which I believe is actually Kit Cat, almost being forced back there. Soaking opening up with a good shot. And that's going to give them a bomb site and a bomb plant, and they've even left a couple of players behind. There's a
How did Savage kill himself?
Somehow Savage murdered himself, and I don't know how.
How is that even possible? He only had Kevlar.
That is so weird. Killing console. That's the bomb down as well. Ray gonna pick it up. Soaking picking up a second one. This carry gonna go down. So now it's a 3-on-3 somehow. Turned back around. Soaking looking for a bit more. And it looks like we always call this the raid boss build. He's doing this running around in the bomb site. Gone out looking to shoot people, but Havoc gonna shut him down. And now it's a 1 versus 2.
At this point. And, well, TV's on the other side of the
Are
map.
you sure this game is even live?
Yeah, I'm wondering right now. Because, you know, there's this concept of the bomb plant. Oh, one more shot and he gets it. And we're going to have to fight. He gets spotted at least, Havoc. So now he's on the ramp looking for the shot. And he's not going to get it. TB with the headshot. And, Anders, we still have in-game music going, interestingly enough.
I love the in-game music. Don't worry, we will be on that. We'll take care of it, guys. Don't worry. But yes, that was a very confused. Like it was shaping up to be essentially like the perfect round.
Perfect,
get the entry in A, get the whole squad in, put the bomb down. And I thought, you know, great. They're even leaving a couple of people behind so that when the CT's trying to retake, they can come up behind them and flank him, and it'll be hell. But then a lot of really strange things happen. Now with the P90 in play though, and yeah, actually only the UMP and then 2 Glocks. So a buy then in a sort of a European context we'd never see, basically. Never see this buy.
I like Uki's just chilling, you know, going for the... He's like, oh, I got this, man. Wallbang, get that spray. And then, no, TB's just like, actually, brah. Oh, what is this? The knife from Breaker?
Breaker hiding in the corner, and somehow it's turned into a 1v2. Havoc might still be in this. He's got the AK and no bomb plant yet. The bomb hiding all the way out in that courtyard. Soaking, he's so ready for it. And he might actually be rewarded for all this patience.
Oh, no.
What is this?
I think pause is probably being called here or something along those lines, because 2 of them, Savage, I think, and Soaking had trouble.
I was hoping for a moment that he was gonna be able to get that, but yeah, they are just fooling around, so gotta expect that maybe this round will be replayed from the beginning of the round. I'm not sure, but it definitely seemed like there was some sort of call to hold it up for a bit. I'm looking at their pings, and nobody really seems to be spiking anything bad.
But yeah, it's Savage. But Savage had an issue in the pistol. I mean, he died in the pistol, suicide. So yeah, you got to be wondering for him and Zoking both. Did somebody just drop their AK on Savage by accident? Looks like it.
Yeah, I think there is some sort of like server issue. So we'll probably pause the match in a bit. Right now, not even sure if this is they are playing like this is a live round. So let's just assume that.
Yeah, we might want to get in.
That they might. I'm not sure if they really are. We'll definitely clear this up for you in a second. By the way, if you are tuning in from Europe or indeed from America, then you know, good job to you, because it's obviously a completely different time. I think it's like
7 in the morning. Not even.
Well, East Coast it is, right?
East Coast, I think it's even earlier than that. Yeah. I think it's
Either way,
it's pretty screwed.
It's a brutal schedule for anyone tuning in from
No, not
North
even.
Asia.
Not even, bro, because it's going to be it'll probably be like midnight, closer to midnight over there, because it's like getting to be 6, 7 in the morning in Sweden, I think.
All right.
So let's see. It's
sense.
it's not even that. It's 4:30 in the morning in Sweden. So 6 hours difference. So it's actually pretty late at night over on the East Coast right now. It's like 11:30 or something.
All right. So maybe we might have some of the American crew tuning in. That might make sense.
What's up?
It's good times, yeah. The panel was sort of bringing this up a little bit, talking about how, you know, once the Asians get into something, they tend to take over a little bit. It's been true in some games. I mean, obviously, notoriously, Korean Instant StarCraft. I don't know much about League of Legends, so won't have an opinion on that. Dota, it seems to have been also like really hard to beat some of the Chinese teams once they get rolling.
It's all over the place in Dota right now, actually, because EG, you know, came back. Alliance now, the Swedes are here, but okay, it looks like we've restarted the match, guys, from scratch. So,
all right. So I think
new
it
pistol.
was a config issue that, I mean, we had to restart from the beginning. Both teams apparently agreeing to that. So good luck. TB going to be taking down Nami, and we'll see if they can keep going. Carry now trapped here, and he's going to go down. TB having a very, very good time of it here, and it's going to be a bomb plant finally in a 2 versus 3.
Decent after plants. This actually makes sense, yeah. So now we actually have Breaker and Havoc, the last two alive here. Havoc did pretty well in the pistol round in his own right in the first time around, so we'll see if he can actually find that headshot this time. Just gonna run up. He finds the instant headshot, but then gets caught in the crossfire, and now it should fall apart here for Breaker, who's the last man standing. He's got that 5-7. He's got Kevlar, so a bit of a raid boss build here on the CT side at least, but he's not able to get the, well, both kills there or the defuse.
It's a bit of a shame, actually, because as soon as Havoc picked up the first headshot there, it was a really good one.
Yeah.
Breaker was trying to get up from behind. He was trying to jump out to the wall, and I think he was delayed a little bit. I think maybe he failed to jump once or something. So then the timing was just off enough that they couldn't like use the fact that everyone was shooting at Havoc. So it was a bit of a shame, but still good start for CyberZen. We of course apologize for whatever like technical stuff here. It's day one, you know, and it's a brand new venue, so I guess we'll see how it goes. TB opening up with a nice shot here from the Tech 9. And this buy seems much more reasonable and much more like we were actually expecting, because you were a bit confused last time around the second round here. But this time they've got the SMGs. AK going down on Soaking, but still looking good.
They should be able to recover that AK as well. So it shouldn't be the end of the world here. Good flank coming in from Savage. He's just wrecking him, although he does get caught by Havoc with that CZ. In the end, 2 kills here for CyberZen. They recover the AK. That's Advent picking it up. And so no issues here in the end for CyberZen. And Savage has actually got just enough for a glass. I don't want to see him go glass cannon AWP though.
Got 3 Mac 10s. Can we get a 4th one on Advent, I'm wondering?
Just like fully commit to the SMG money.
Do go for it. I mean, we always criticize this, so we should as well here. It's hard to imagine that like all the SMGs, I mean, obviously only 2 of them can really pick up a double kill, so at the very least the last guy is going to be left with just 1 kill.
Well, they've changed it up this time, CyberZen. It's been A for the last 2 rounds. Now they're deciding to go out onto the B site, straight up, getting flanked. You got to take care of this guy, Nami, waiting in drop. He actually manages to get the backstab in, but yeah, pretty easy, straightforward round here for CyberZen. Total lack of subtlety in the end.
A pretty good look there from KitKat, hiding in chicken coop, but it actually is 3 of the kills going to Savage with the AK, so the SMG is sort of not really getting a huge return on investment. They still have pretty good money, so it's not the end of the world, but we've got Risky with a full buy here. P90 as well on carry, so something we've seen in the past, even on the European team, so I'm not really too worried about that one. And armorless AWP on Nami, so we'll see how that works out.
I'm really curious to see how they use Yuki here, because he's got that Mac 10. He hasn't upgraded, so our CyberZen going to go with the standard approach, which is basically feed this guy in, use him as a scout, or... Yeah, okay, so he's actually in the back lines right now. Nice flash to force Havoc off of the plateau. Let's see if he can actually manage to get something out of this, though. They're going to be clearing at the same time, and he doesn't get the kill.
Nice return from Breaker, but he can't finish it off, and obviously that is going to be the round very swiftly. Nami maybe could try and go for, like, exit kills, but he's got to save that AWP. That, I mean, it's hard to know. It really looked like he was unflashed at one point there, and then maybe he could get the kill, but... Obviously, a lot of flashes coming through and hard for him to turn around in time. So 4-0 and CyberZen off to a predictably good start here. And no AWP saved.
Yeah, just straight mauling, you know, that risky game you're taking right now. Mass money on CyberZen's side as well. And Oki not even going to go for the upgrade. Why bother? You know that they're going to be ecoing this round. So he's just going to be able to run in there with that SMG, start spraying down targets. And it looks like, again, CyberZen want to head towards that B site early on here. They have split a couple of guys off just to clear out the halls and to hold passively towards A, but the rest of them, this is actually a fairly balanced approach to the round in the end for CyberZen. Just spread out, map control all across the board.
Yeah, and using Yuki here to, you know, clear out whatever he can. He must have heard at least a couple of people in drop then, so good information. The bomb is out on plateau, and don't really see any way that Risky's going to be able to stop this from happening.
Yeah, especially because there's the spot, there's the info. Molotov goes down. It's not perfect. It doesn't allow them to. It does allow for Risky to get out of a drop if they wanted to, or rather get out of connector. But yeah, this is a situation that CyberZen should be feeling very comfortable in. They have a way out as well secured if they want to take down long.
Ooh. Soaking finding more kills, it seems. And Ven did kind of say this whenever they've been playing like lesser teams. He seems to be just on sort of frag hunting mode, you know, just getting all the kills that he can. Currently at 9, 1, and 3 with TB and Savage in second place with 6 kills each. Carry Bob having a really hard time early on here with 0 kills on him. So, you know, now would be a good time to step it up. They will go for the double AWP setup here. So I look forward to seeing, because right now CyberZen have none. So if they get into decent positions and CyberZen don't have the right smokes, definitely it can work out.
Whoa. Bit of the run boost going on there for a minute. Nice Molotov thrown up to try and control top of drop, but it doesn't look like CyberZen are interested in waiting around whatsoever. They're actually going to just go straight charging. And they can still go for this execute. You can see that they've already set up for the nades. And so it doesn't look like they're going to waste any time at all. And unfortunately for Breaker, he's not going to get anything out of that AWP up close.
Could have been a decent setup. Soaking, though, going to be taking down Kit as well. Things are looking very tricky indeed. Carry coming through, finally picking up a kill, but he's going to go down. Nami not really able to do much in this position. He drops the Savage. I mean, so the setup, right? I can understand having the up close. I actually think that can even work.
Sure.
Especially because they have the guy on the box behind them, like the tree box. So if the guy fails the op shot, the M4 player behind him is sort of supposed to take over. I'm assuming that's like the 1-2 punch there. But the problem is, I'm pretty sure he was flashed. So as soon as the op misses the shot, the guy behind him can't even help because of the flashbangs. And I think that's how the round broke then. I mean, one thing is missing the shot, that's bad. But if you could get the follow-up kill, at least you're doing something, right? Just didn't work.
Ooh, nice nade there onto who. It's going to force him back. Well, that's actually Savage. Never mind. But, I mean, they go for like quad HEs in the end. Big spray. He's going to get caught, though. Havoc is going to be able to follow it up on Uki. So, nicely done here by Risky Gaming, at least at the beginning, to just back up and keep control of the situation here over on the B site. They don't let CyberZen take control of drop. It's a fair trade. They aren't able to recover the AK, though, so actually TB coming back up here just to make sure that gun is still around.
Checking it out, and I mean, they've got certainly a man lead, and they've got that's Carry all the way at the back of the A-bomb site, and I am worried because there's still 3 Molotovs left on CyberZen. I'm wondering if they won't use one of them to check that corner. I think every sort of pro team that's ever trying to play this map will have lost at least a couple of rounds to someone hiding there. So that's like become the spot that's always at the back of your mind. They're going to use one there to try and check close, another one. Oh, actually, did they use all of them? Yeah, they've used all of them to try and burn out the top of the bomb site. They're not going to be working out, though. Carry comes up, but does go down eventually. He's now 1-on-2 for Advent. Puts down the bomb with not that much time left.
See if he can actually peek. They do. Oh, wow. There was a real chance for him to turn that around, though, because Risky were out of position. They turned it into a series of duels, one-on-ones, and that's a winnable situation there for Advent. So had he hit that first shot, it could have been a clutch situation for CyberZen. Instead, it's Risky managing to pull off a quasi-buy.
Yeah, they had next to nothing that round, and it looked like maybe it could have worked out. They certainly used a lot of grenades to try and get into the bomb site, but it still wasn't good enough. They're going to have money to buy, and even if they don't, to win this round, they'll have so much. Like, that's 13,000, I think, at the beginning for Savage, even more than that.
Yeah, more than that. He was up at like 16, basically, because he just dropped 4,800 on this buy. So, yeah, mad money, no problems. And, well, Risky, they can actually say the same. Having won a force buy, or rather a quasi-buy, they've got basically all the money that they need for anything here. Breaker taking a lot of damage, though, and he will fall in the end, and that was at the back of Plateau. And it doesn't look like CyberZen want to slow down behind this.
Oh, Soaking. They've already killed one there. They are still going to use the Molotov. This is a pretty thorough work coming out of CyberZen. They're actually not falling for it, and Soaking going to take him down. It's not too bad, because you could have expected that maybe once they get the first kill, they will assume that no one else is going to be on the plateau. So pretty careful play coming out here for the CyberZen team. Soaking going for more, spraying down and getting the second kill. And it's now 5 versus 2. So Risky Gaming, they're about to be in a world of trouble.
Oh, the 1 HP. They just need to find one bullet on this guy. Oh. There's the Molotov. He's making it expensive. A triple for him. Nami doing big damage. 1 HP. Anything is possible with the AWP. He just needs to land the one shot, but he's not going to find it in the end. Advent peeks out, catching him looking the wrong way.
How did he live for that long? That Molotov should have been the end of him. That was a pretty good triple, but tragically, it won't have that much of an impact on the game. He actually has, or Kit has a lot of money, but only him and Breaker are able to buy, so I'm not sure if I would necessarily recommend at this point in time. It might be a little bit scary.
Looks like we lost TB for a second there, but the unpause is going to come back in. No
it is confusing that he's called TB, because I just instantly think Total Biscuit.
Yeah, right? I know. I'm getting a little bit of the same thing. Or a really horrible disease. One or the other.
7-1.
I think he gets the job done quicker, but whatever.
The 9th round that's coming up. Let's see if we can make Risky go a bit further. I mean, last time they pulled it off, that's also the only round they got not really too encouraging at this point. They're trying to boost in the fire. I think they wanted to say, let's just make this boost happen before we run away, but a little bit of a failed jump then. Nami gonna go down. The hero of last round is Savage, getting the timing perfect. And this is turning out very much along the lines of what we were expecting. So, I mean, yeah, just two different classes of teams, it feels like right now.
Yeah, CyberZen are just having a field day. I mean, they are trying their best at this point. I mean, Breaker with a nice little peek there to drop the bomb carrier. And there's going to be Kit, the last man alive here, but not for long. Nice shot coming in from Nuki. The headshot, instant. And that's 8-1 for CyberZen. They just keep on going, man. And they, yeah, ever since the beginning of this, they haven't been at risk economically. They've got 3 guys sitting above 10,000 now. So CyberZen just have no pressure at all. They get to do what they want. They all buy Molotovs as well. One thing to note here is they are really good at using these nades. We saw how they were able to cancel the boost with the Molotov into drop and then the Molotov at Black Plateau. Like, CyberZen are making very good use of their nades early on here in the rounds. And we're gonna see it again. Interesting choice to use the Molotov first there. And that's mainly, I guess, they've noticed that the guy, that Breaker keeps trying to jump up here at the beginning at least. So just throwing down the incendiary right at the beginning just to get some plat control. When in Europe, you kind of see that smoke go down instead, right? It's not the Molotov, it's the smoke that gets used by the T side to control that space.
Yeah, and also, Chris, you want to try and see if you can, like, peek at the edge of the smoke if people are, like, just a little bit careless. It's a real shame that I think it was Havoc losing the fight there at the broken wall, because that could have been a really big kill, but he almost gets it on Sokin, but not quite an Advent. In a good position here. Sokin still doing damage. Down to a double kill right now, looking for a third one. It's going to be Advent to break it up, and now all on Kit, 1 versus 2.
And he plays that well in the end. He needs to trust his angle. That's the main thing. It comes down to communication here when you're holding those kinds of spots. You have to know that you're watching the right one and just have, basically trust that your mates are watching your back. But yeah, there's no chance here for Kit. He's going to just try and back off as quickly as possible. Just barely missing out there, TB, and he's going to go up with the bomb.
I think
he might actually just make it out. Yeah, you're right.
But again, I mean, just like when everybody else plays Cobblestone, it comes down to winning the fight either in drop or in plateau. If you're on the CT side, if you lose either one of those, then there's almost no way to recover. It's so hard.
It's like they lost their round on A as well, so CyberZen, it's like, okay, well, just don't go A site anymore, keep going B.
Yeah.
Bomb going towards B again. And they've had very quick rounds as well. It's not like Risky have really taught them, hey, you have to slow down your pace, or they're making good use of the fact that Risky are so low on eco. They've literally had like 1 round where they had full nades as well. So there's nothing really here for Risky to try and to use to stop them from controlling the pace on CyberZen's side.
Sen almost getting caught. They can't get that follow-up. That would have been a really big kill if Kit could have come through with it, but both Yuki and Savage are dropping a little bit low on health here. So yes, I think this is one of the best starts we've had to a round so far for Risky Gaming, and all they have is an M4.
Yeah, and they're telegraphing this, CyberZen. Nice call here from Risky to rotate 4 players over to the A site. They haven't seen anything since that push on Plateau, and they're getting a good read here, although we may actually have, TB just darting forward, picking up the 1, but he drops dangerously low as well. They're well within pistol range here on all these players for CyberZen, and unfortunately they lose the man with full HP. Sokin gone.
They're giving the M4 to Havoc as well. Breaker hiding all the way in the corner here. This is very good. Every single member of the terrorist team a single shot away from death, but they do have the advantage in terms of numbers. Still 37 seconds left here. Carry picking up a kill. Advent going down 30 seconds now and still no bomb plant. And as long as Breaker is hiding back there, it should be a good round for them.
Should be done. I mean, they're trying to go for the pre-fire into connector right now. Breaker just hiding himself. He will get caught in the end. That is Carry Bob down. And Breaker gets spotted as well. 15 seconds left. If he just were to hide, he could have played the clock perhaps, forced it into a better angle, but he goes hunting for the kill, and he gets caught out in the open.
It's one of those things, again, we're talking about the experience where, you know, you feel the pressure so badly when you're playing it, especially when you're getting beat this much. You feel like you're, you know, that was the one chance and just didn't happen. 10-1, moving into the 12th round. You know, we were watching how happy Moses was on the desk earlier, and it's occurred to me that if Moses were to make a gaming organization right now, probably call it Frisky Gaming instead of Risky Gaming. I'm saying.
Don't even.
Nami is going to come up with the opening frag there, taking down TB, and Yuki hiding in the corner. He must have already seen those shots, and the timing is very good indeed. Looked like he may have been able to finish or continue, but nice pop flash out. Carrybot coming in from behind though. Sadly, I think he could have actually had that kill. It's a good pop flash.
Yeah, he had it. I mean, he got the read on the second man, had him full flash. That was it. If Carry hadn't been there, that was the perfect situation to open things up. And now, well, Savage is low, but they've got control of the A side, it looks like. Zoking has managed to sneak his way out here this entire time, and he's going to be in position to hold the line or at least catch the rotators out. If he plays this correctly, he's going to be waiting right here on balcony. This is perfect.
Sees it coming, controls the spray nicely as well. Puts up a smoke and then a Molotov for the door, but there is a space here for Carry to make it through. The bomb is now up on the bomb site here. Risky Gaming, they gotta get in this game somehow, but that's just not it's just not happening for them right now. Good headshot from Advent and Kit now, one-on-one, and that bomb is out in the open. It's gonna be very hard to defuse, especially without a Kit.
Yeah, oh wow, yeah, nightmare plant here. Does he decide, oh, there's the peak, just takes the jump, and now he can play for time. He can play for this bomb plant. I mean, 10 seconds, no Kit here for Kit. That is actually a little bit of a frustrating name to have, just because, you know, it's like, does Kit have a Kit?
Yeah, I like it for the irony. I appreciate that. He does steal the AWP at the end, which is going to make it 11-10 here. I mean, sorry, yeah, 11-1. It looked like it could have been a decent round, but as soon as Soaking won that fight, it was so hard for them to get back in the site. Tactical timeout being called by Havoc, and let's see if they can come up with something. I mean, the thing is, I don't even know. I don't know a single team that has like a really good way to play CT side Cobblestone.
Not right now.
I'm beginning to be convinced that it's not even possible to have that.
No, because you're so limited in options on the CT side. It's not like Mirage or Cash or like other interesting maps where you can go for some aggression on the CT side. There's always some kind of play. On Cobblestone, it always feels so static. So at least, you know, European, where you see for the majority of the time, you see the highest level of CS. Over there, it's really just, you know, hey, we'll use our nades and anti-rush, and then we'll just try and hold on to them for as long as possible. But now terrorists have so much time to run down the clock and just force those nades out of you. CT side, it just feels like such a nightmare to play on this map at this point. It's all about that T side. I mean, CT just comes down to, you know, every time you talk to a team, it's just like, oh, well, we have to work on our rotations. I'm like, yeah, that's literally all you can do is cross your fingers and hope that you stack at the right site to catch the terrorists when they decide to just, you know, push out and take the fight.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any nades to help with it at that point. Yeah, it's a real nightmare.
Well, we'll see what they came up with here. They do have a little bit of aggression in the middle with, I think, Breaker moving up and trying to see if he can create a presence there. Well, they got 4 people stacked in the B-bomb site, so very similar as to what we would see in Europe here. But Nami goes down early on. Savage picking up that first kill, and that's obviously a bit of a shame. That was the battle they needed to win. Carry also being dropped by Yuki and looking for more. Again, that pop flash going through, and the timing is so good as well. Kit gonna go down, which leaves Havoc in a very tricky position. We'll get the first kill there.
Yeah, they do manage to, and they figure out where the remaining 2 players are here for rather Risky Gaming as well. So they know that they don't need to commit with the bomb. Savage is just going to chill out here on the plateau. Misses the shot though. It's taken down to 32.
Look at the flank coming in as well. That was Soaking and TP pushing all the way through A to actually catch Breako, who's trying to hold there, and Havoc going to go down. It seems like for a round like this, right, it's obviously very weird for us to watch, but it seemed like planting the bomb was like a secondary objective, and then actually just isolating and killing all the CT side members, that was more important.
It's like once they figured out where they were, that they got the info from Mookie. Okay, both of them are just sitting right in front of connector. It's like at that point, CyberZen are like, great, just get in there with the backstab. Yeah. Nothing these guys can do. Yeah, it's not shaping up too nicely here for Risky Gaming. Unfortunately for them in their first game of the day here, CyberZen have just gone on autopilot, showing zero respect. Nice little boost here though from Carry Bob at least. He's been boosted up into drop, so maybe there's a little bit of a trap here that CyberZen will walk into eventually.
Well, they tried it before. This time it's going to pay off. That's a nice shot with the Max 7. And smartly as well, instead of sticking around, they decided to just fall back, and that's definitely what they should be doing. Now they got to make sure they don't give up any kind of a refrag here.
And they're throwing down some nades as well here to keep Risky Gaming at least, well, guessing a little bit. So now it comes down to whether Risky can figure out that this is going to change up, because they're not going to see anybody on that B side anymore here for CyberZen. Instead, it's going to come down to Soaking, who's taking point here coming out of apartments. Nade goes down, and Kit's going to be able to fall back to a safe position. And now they have a little bit of a crossfire set up here for the CT side.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice cross of Molotovs, checking out all the back of the bomb side. That means they got so much information. Havoc, Nami coming in with a good double kill, and Savage in the back lines. It would have been a good position if his teammates had opened up and he would have caught people jumping in. But now, doesn't seem like it's a very winnable round for him, even though the panelists talked highly about him. I don't think he could so easily come back in this round. So
he's going to need a little bit of luck here. He needs to be watching the right angle at the right time. There we go. Spots out the man, but he gets spotted in turn, and that's at that point where you realize, okay, Savage. He picks up on it real quick, decides to back out and hold on to his AWP for the next round. I mean, it's not like they're hurting for money, CyberZen, but he realizes there's no point in him just throwing it away 1v4.
Yeah, I think it's more about this point not giving them the AWP so that they can run away with it. Because Risky, on the other hand, don't have that much. They actually couldn't afford an AWP even if they wanted to. So that's it, going down into the 15th round. And an obviously very one-sided scoreline here early on for CyberZen. I guess if nothing else, it's good to get that like CyberZen are not somehow, shook and walking into this and thinking like, oh, so much pressure, and like, it's like, yeah, let's go,
Yeah, CyberZen, it feels like to me like they're just like, we know we're the big dogs here, and we're just gonna kind of walk around and do what we want. Like you haven't, and it's kind of like what Moses talked about initially, right? Again, Carry Bob getting that incendiary out, but it's a little bit too late. And so there is an opening here for the counter boost, but then they just push out on the plateau anyway, CyberZen. Havoc is there with the AK. He gets a decent spray, but they know that he's on the site now. He will be able to trade up and actually pick up 2 kills here, but we're in a 3-on-3, and this should favor CyberZen.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, they do need to pick up that bomb and put it down at some point. They're again using a lot of grenades. Havoc boosted up. That's a nice little creative play coming out of Risky Gaming then. Havoc, you realize someone might be in that corner. You really want to take that fight. Molotov comes out. Kit to pick it up, and now it's all on Yuki. 1 versus 3, and they have him trapped up there. It's a good headshot on Nami, but he needs a little bit more than that. Havoc gonna try and come through, and I mean, it's a single bullet here. Surely between the two, they should be able to land it. Molotov actually.
That actually worked.
I think it might have.
That was pretty slick.
Yeah, I think it actually did land behind the boxes, but Yuki had already moved out. The bomb's still down here. I mean, at some point, he's going to have to make a play.
Yeah, 30 seconds as well. And this is the 15th round, the last round of the first half, so there's no saving here. There's no backing off. You either get in and get the job done, and he's got an AK, so I mean, if he finds the headshots. Oh, and he nearly gets it. Down to 3 HP, Kit.
Could have been, but it wasn't. 12-3 favoring CyberZen. And yeah, just a game that's so far progressing very much like we had imagined.
Yeah, that's a pretty stellar first half.
Yeah.
So straightforward stuff here for CyberZen at least, and now they get to go over onto the CT side where they're going to be waiting to see what Risky have in store for them on that T side. And, well, seeing the level out of Risky right now, it just feels like they weren't able to get their heads in the game whatsoever here. At the beginning, when you need to be hitting your headshots, you need to just be slamming the door shut on the terrorists. making CyberZen, you know, waste time, making them doubt themselves. None of that happened for Risky. They just kind of got plowed. That's what can happen with a good T-side start, though, is you control the momentum, you control the pace of the game at that point. And so we saw what was capable of, what a good team on that T-side is capable of.
Well, going into the second half here, it's the first game at IEM Taipei, and soaking off to a good start. He's got the duel, he's running back through the smoke, but they are going to catch him eventually, and that leaves it with a bit of an advantage, I think, for Risky. No, Savage is still behind him. They got to be a bit careful here. The bomb making its way in the right direction, and that's Advent going down. TB jumping out so many targets. He actually hits a headshot on Kit somehow, and even gets a second one. Now he's being flanked, and surely this is going to be the end breaker to take him out, but no bomb plant and a 2v2.
Oh no, yeah, and Uki manages to spot the one. He gets the info on the second as well, and he's still alive somehow. Will his teammate Savage be able to pull this off? Yep, there you go. Surprise, surprise. Savage is still around. Picks up the first one, headshot, and now Breaker. He does have the bomb, so he's going to be able to get that bomb plant down, but he's stuck in the corner here. He has nowhere to go.
He can make it. He goes for the fight. If Savage did that bullet, that would have been it. Breaker now sneaking around the corner, and Savage still going to get the shot to pick up the double kill, and ends up taking the round for CyberZen. I've got to say though, I feel like Savage could have probably held out his teammate when he was stuck in the corner, right? He's just like, I'm shooting, like, oh, there's a guy there, and he's, oh no, I'm trapped. And Savage is like, don't worry, bro.
Don't worry, fam. I got you.
I'll bait this all day.
That's exactly what happened. Hey, I mean, the thing is, dude, he wins the clutch, so at that point, can you really hate too hard? No, you can't.
Well, with the bomb plant, Risky, not going to go for anything risky. Tragically,
especially considering CyberZen, if they win this round, they're going to be up in 14.
Yeah.
And CyberZen are ready here. I mean, we do have a couple of flashes, so one of them should go off in Advent's face here. He should get blinded. But then, yeah, double spray from TB back here at Henhouse, and he's just going to do massive damage.
Chicken coop, Semla.
Chicken coop, Henhouse. I don't think that's important right now. I think it's the fact that they take 0 damage, CyberZen, and there's a triple kill for Uki, so now he's up to like 59-50.
Thing is, I was calling it Henhouse as well, but then like Mo had that one video where he was screaming. Actually, all of Mo's videos are Mo screaming, but it is pretty funny. And and that was that from now on in my head, it's got to be chicken coop. It's too funny. Whoa, soaking, I think, almost getting caught on the wall then, and Savage down to 13. So I mean, this is the one chance, the only chance that Risky Gaming have in the second half here. Maybe in the game in total, actually, of making like any kind of an impact.
CT side B right now. It looks like they might be trying to push on a plateau to get some info. There was definitely a lot of movement over there on the B side for the CT side. On the B site, rather. Havoc is blocked behind a smoke, but he's going to push through, and that's going to come down to him now to hold that line. It's so important that Havoc actually gets something done here. Like a kill, anything, because just showing himself and then backing off again shouldn't be good enough to pull CyberZen out of position on the A site.
This kind of setup for CyberZen is going to be punished so badly later on if they end up playing a team like Renegades or something like that because of just how little defense they have over at the B-bomb site. So far they're trading. Savage way in the back here. Nice position to not get grenaded or anything.
Oh, wow. And the Molotov up close to guard the close angle, allowing for Savage to just hold and look for A apartments, the main entrance. That was pretty slick there by Advent. Nice rotation back for him. Well, that's just buying a little bit of time because now Risky Gaming, they're all going to just move up onto that A side. They're going to put 3 guys through the apartments, through long, and just Havoc here. And Advent, he's not close enough to... He's not going to take the bait. He doesn't decide to push in.
Yeah, but he must have heard at least one guy running away, so the question is, could he guess there's another 3 up there? Now he's peeking behind, and now they're rotating behind this. Havoc almost getting caught. That's so scary. But actually, they're rotating out of it, and Advent goes down. They think it's going to be a B hit because of Havoc. The only one to know different is Yuki, and he's in this corner. He goes down. 6 seconds left, and the bomb is going to go down. And somehow, Risky Gaming come out ahead. I think the fact that Havoc went back and they heard that somehow caused a lot of confusion on CyberZen.
Yeah. They seem to be sold on it. And then, of course, it doesn't help that Zooking isn't able to win that duel. Or was it Advent? Advent actually pushed forward. Yeah, Advent was the one who pushed in to get the kill. The timing nearly worked out perfectly for him there as well to take out Havoc. Maybe just a little bit of a lack of information here on who plays which role on Risky as far as, you know, had he seen Havoc, had he got the kill on Havoc, would that have been a tell? Would that have been a tell?
Yeah, you gotta wonder. Well, they get to save the AWP and the M4, and I think at least, yeah, 2 other people can buy, so I'd be surprised if they don't just try and force it up here. They must also feel like this is just a matter of closing out this game, you know? Like, right now it's like, do Risky get Risky? Do they get full?
I know, Risky is so perfect, like that name.
It is. I can't help it. I apologize.
Time to get frisky. I mean, that literally could be the chant, right? At the beginning. Nice. They really do have the timing down correctly here for Risky Gaming on the wall bang through into underpass. That's the second time now that they've done some damage to one of the CT players who's trying to push up close.
A bit of a boost, actually, and that's with the AWP on top, so they're really hoping that someone's going to go and check it out, but nobody currently will. Soaking, on the other hand, he's over at the A-bomb site. He's got to be a little bit careful. He's very much alone. And if they try and come through, I don't know how many people he could take down. He's got the M4A1 as well, the inferior rifle, Semler.
Whoever's got food around here needs to leave, because that's all I can smell at this point. It's driving me crazy.
You didn't have any breakfast, did
No, I didn't have any food, dude.
Wow.
Unfortunately, jet lag is a bitch.
I mean, I woke up at 5 and waited 2 hours until breakfast was open, and I went there. Look at this. Molotov down the middle, try and buy some time. TB winning the early fight. Naomi, is he going to actually push in behind this, take a little bit of damage? Pop flash comes out. Sokin not going to be checking the corner. Advent picking up a kill, so it's still 3v3. 30 seconds left, and Savage in a good position. And with these flashes coming out, they're not going to have that much time, but Nami picking up an important kill, and TB pushing through the smoke. Ends up going down. Nice triple kill for Nami.
And this is where CyberZen need to kind of calm down a little bit, I think, because that last round...
Yeah, I mean... I think...
That last round is them taking unnecessary risks, just trying to close it out.
I think in this round even, they get the first kill.
Yeah.
And then Soking still wants to sort of like push into the middle with a flash. Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't work.
Exactly. It's those kinds of plays where it's just like, you know what? If you stick to your game and do what you know works, there's no way you lose that round. You know, you take your time with it and you're good. And we just saw a classic case of, of luminosity, basically. Of, just trying to press forward to close out the round when you don't really need to. If you just stick to your guns, you'd be all right. Or, yeah, what? All right, Havoc with the double kill at the end to close things out. But
what are you talking trash about my team for so long?
Bro, I mean, we know that they would have 2 titles right now if they weren't making this mistake, which is trying to close out rounds that they don't need to.
Yeah, it could be true.
What you talking trash, Simba?
Yeah, man, what is this? I mean, I've landed myself in trouble, saying that the European teams and American teams are all lazy, even though that's not really what I said. I just said they're lazy at coming up with new things.
Stick with it, Anders.
Yeah.
You gotta believe in what you say, right?
Trashed here.
Trashed here.
No, I'm all right. It's good though. It's good fun. Good to have the debate at least.
Sure. At what point do you need to stop working? How big does your paycheck need to get?
I don't actually mind it if people were doing the same thing, as long as they were like experts at doing it. But it seems to me a lot of like the teams aren't even that, They're just very good like at the game.
At hitting headshots, basically.
Yeah, need more than that. Ooh, pop flash comes out. Let's try and check out what is essentially the tiny wooden fortress. And hiding in that corner is going to be Soking, and this is going to be so hard for him. He does get the opening frag, and almost a second one as well. It's one of those positions where I wish he would have had a teammate to like help him out, pop flash him in or something like that. And TB going to go down. Yeah,
I'm surprised that TB would go for the full spray like that. Definitely thought that he was going to die, or he thought that he was going to die. So he did die in the end. He just spotted the 1 man though, and right now the problem for CyberZen is that they've in each case they've spotted an extra man. And they haven't seen anything past that, so they have no confirmation as to where the bomb is playing from or which side it's going to go into, although this pushing through A halls is going to be a bit of a tell. So finally they're able to actually get forward and get quite a bit of information here. And I'm curious, Savage, it's all going to come down to the timing for him if he realizes where Breaker is gone, because he knows that he's on somebody's heels.
I think he heard him, but he doesn't know if he ran into A or not. That's a big opening frag there coming through for Advent, but the bomb, 10 seconds left here. It's still going to be planted. And Breaker is now in a very dangerous position in this corner.
Oh. Savage, no, he doesn't realize that he could be holding close. Easy kill there for Breaker, but that gives the info here to Uki, who's going to win the duel flat out, and now it's all on Nami to hit this shot. If Nami misses the one shot that you have with an AWP, you're donezo, but he's got the Tech 9 as well, and actually that just works out fine. I mean,
sensible decision, really.
That's the play to make. If you know that the guy is tagged down, if you know that he's low, then just, yeah, go ham with the pistol instead of taking that risk with the AWP when you don't need to. That was probably some good communication coming out from his mate saying, hey, you know, just to quote NA real quick, he's lit! He's lit!
He's lit. He's stoned.
Like, I dinked him! Yeah. Don't make that mistake, boys.
Oh, look at this. Really aggressive push coming out of Yuki, actually, all the way into the stairwell here on the T side of middle. They don't have any, well, except for Yuki and Advent, they don't have any armor and just a couple of pistols here, so still could be a good opening frag, actually, with the bomb as well. Picks up the AK, turns around, and sprays down Havoc, and now it's going to be a little bit annoying. They will finally catch him. I think that last round, though, I think you highlighted something which is important. I think part of the problem is they have no information on the CT side, and they don't even know how to get it, and I don't think anybody does. Oh no.
Well, that's awkward. He even gets the headshot on the Kit. Down to 4 HP Kit, and well, unfortunately for Advent, he's on the other side of the map. He's on the wrong side of the map, so he can't even play off of his teammates' info. He should be able to pick up an AK somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So he got Uki's AK. That's nice. And he's got Kevlar as well. And they're going to have the money to buy in the next round, CyberZen. So yeah, it's good. He should just push up here and see if he can't get another kill on somebody from Risky.
Imagine that the hallway that goes from like the B plateau into where the T's enter. Imagine if we imagine that was a little bit like the banana area on Inferno going into the B bomb site. The difference is that while banana can be sort of controlled from the CT side, you know, you can like put down smokes really far down, and you can put smokes further up. You can have like a whole fight on banana before people even get into the bomb site. On this map, if you lose that plateau, they are in the site immediately. Like there's no like input lag, there's no like delay there. They're just in the site and putting the bomb down, you know? So that's just something, and you can't get any information about it. You're getting no info until it happens.
And until it's too late. It's so quick. That's why it's so hard to go for the aggression on plateau, especially because it's such a hard site to hold. If you lose a man, then it's just nightmare time.
Think about how people play for information on Inferno with pop flashing out just to check if someone's car. If no one's car on banana, then you're like, all right, well, maybe, you know, we make a rotation based on that. It's a nice kill for Savage here, but now he's trapped in the corner. Can he get any kind of backup? Right now, I think it's Advent trying to see if he can get in and help him out, and they are going to be successful in doing that, but Savage still goes down, and Yuki, Advent with some good kills. Nami still doing work, but he can't finish off the kill, and now it's going to be a 1-on-2.
And Soaking, yeah, now, well, basically he needs to figure out how he can get back in here to get this bomb. He's looking for the kill instead, so he might be able to catch the man out who's holding on the site itself, because they're trying to bring that Scar 20 into play, and the timing doesn't work out. He's able to peek, but from balcony into a apartment spot, I'm not sure if they spotted him. Now they're going to just push forward here, CyberZen, confirm that the bomb is still out in the open, and there we go. Perfect spot here now for TB to hold. He's going to have that angle. One shot will do the trick as well. Boop. And there we go. So 15-8 match point now for CyberZen. This is a best of one as well. It's the first match of the day here in Group A, so all the pressure now is going to be on Risky, who we're starting to get a bit of a comeback going. Only problem is now it kind of changes, your mentality changes when you go from having one round to give up to just being on the limit right here.
They won 5 rounds in a row here on the second half. They're going to need to win 7 in a row to play overtime right now. That's a big ask.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's really going to be. We did have a 12-3 finish in favor of CyberZen in the first half, so really hard to come back up if you're Risky.
I'm curious. I don't think Savage found an angle there. He was playing some mind games with that smoke to try and peek aggressively, and I'm not sure if he found, he didn't actually manage to get anything off. So unfortunate there for CyberZen. That could have been the big start for him. Getting a man advantage would have been huge, but instead they decided to lay a trap up here in the apartments where Risky they've been hanging out a lot of the time, so they might be able to pull something off here. If Savage is going to be the bait, basically, for Zoking to peek afterwards, Savage is holding that angle with the AWP. So it's the bait and switch. AWP shot, and then the rifle is going to be there to stop the counter push.
And that makes so much more sense than what they were doing earlier when it was just soaking numbers there. But oh, Molotov in the corner. Look at Risky really clearing it out. That's so smart. That's the kind of play we want to see a lot more of. They get the kill, but they don't assume anything and still check that corner with the Molotov.
That is super sick. And well, now it's just back off and save your gun. CyberZen, you just got hard reset. And the game is going to continue a bit longer here for Risky. But that was really sick, actually. The fact that they used the Molotov behind it as well, that's such thorough play. It kind of makes you wonder if they've seen that play from CyberZen before.
If you look at it, both CyberZen and Risky have actually been doing this on the terrorist side. They check out a lot of corners with Molotovs. More so than, I think, most European teams, right? Even some corners where you'd say you might, like, it'd be tempting to just go and check it manually, like go and check the corner with your rifle and see if anyone's there, because it's not like a very popular corner. They just seem to check all of them. They seem to want to use their Molotovs like that. So,
well, for example, taking A site, you know, Molotov back into the corner, Molotov behind the little house.
Yeah.
There's definitely I mean, you got to appreciate that. The willingness to just go ahead and chuck nades around. And on T side, that's really smart, especially when up close. Even pistols can be lethal. So guys got a CZ-75, and you could be in a bad spot.
Breaker hoping for an opening. Very defensive setup coming out of CyberZen here with just pistols and no armor. But again, it could be enough as well. Oh, Havoc. The timing here is almost unreal, isn't it?
Oh, wow, and he recovers. Saved by aim punch. What the hell am I trying to say here? Aim punch.
Saved by the fact that he had head armor as well. I think otherwise it'd be instantly gone. There's a good refract coming in from Savage and nets him an AK, but still going to be very tough for him to get his team back in the game. They do have him placed up by Chicken Coop, and it seems like Breaker is checking out. They did this before, actually, where they had Breaker flank around as they were setting up for the B push. But now instead they use it to flank around to the A site here, and Breaker gonna get that kill on Soaking. All of these things are very, very unusual if you're a European team.
Just sending a man out basically for free to jump out there. They will be able to pick up another gun here. Nicely done though by Advent. Now 2 AKs to work with. Oh, they could even go in here and actually try and find another kill. What the hell is Savage doing running around with his knife out though? That's an interesting question.
I think in a normal situation, as soon as you get some of these opening frags on B, you just think, all right, well, we've got the man advantage, we have all the rifles, let's just use our grenades and execute into this bomb site and that'll be it.
Sure.
But they seem to want to, like, once they have the man advantage, to say, okay, that means we can use a man to try and, like, have him flank around and actually just, like, you know, check out the A bomb site instead, which I would say is a pretty big risk, because if he dies, then suddenly you could be in a very awkward spot. But they've done it a couple of times, especially with Breaker, it seems, playing the role of, I mean, I guess it would be like a lurker type role, but it's actually, yeah, I wouldn't quite say, not how we normally understand lurker.
He's just actively, it's more of like a flanker kind of thing. Like he's actively looking to get into the backstab position every time. So, well, 5 rounds separating both of these teams at this point. CyberZen still looking to close this out. Risky Gaming are just pummeling them on this T side though. And wow, okay, so yeah, they are still using the early HE there to try and block off underpass, but Risky are still content to just sit back here and wait, and try and force some kind of reaction. And there we go. Havoc on the other side of the smoke catches TV trying to jump in, and that's one of the guns down here for, that's actually the AK, so wouldn't be surprised to see Uki try and work his way back over there to pick that up. Seems like they're willing to just go for the boost though right now, Uki.
Oh, wow. He powers up behind and he gets a shot on Havoc. I don't even know what I would do. I'd probably uninstall the game if I was Havoc. I'd just be too angry.
That was super sick. And now Soaking, he's in position here. He's got the M4A4 as well. Perfect gun if they try and push through here quickly. Little does he know they're actually boosting over the smoke right now, laying a trap. And there's the flash. There's the kill. Double spray. And he manages to make it out in one piece.
Wow, and now there should be no coming back here. They got 45 seconds. They are not in the bomb site. Breaker trying to see if he can sneak in here. Does get the opening shot on Soaking. Down to 35 seconds here. Very little time right now for Risky to execute. Oh, and they're bringing the bomb back right into the hands of Yuki. He hasn't got much health, but he's close by that box on plateau with the max 7. So that's going to make things really tough.
Do they just go charging out? Yeah, he just needs to hide. Doesn't need to peek, doesn't need to get greedy, but he's going to go for it regardless. If he just stays alive there, if he plays that angle, this is a nightmare for Risky. But instead now they actually have a winnable situation because the rotation is going to be coming out. Breaker's there, hits the shot on Advent. And now Savage, is he going to be able to actually do this 1v2? Don't think so. Oh, never mind. He hits a sick headshot and predicts where the man is going to be playing from in Henhouse. Doesn't believe it though, and he actually backs off, starts second guessing himself.
He's got a little bit of time, but no kit, so he's eventually going to have to speed up behind this. He is checking every which angle. Oh, he gets that headshot, and I'm pretty sure there is going to be just enough time for the defuse as well. So CyberZen, I mean, a bit of a scare here for the second half. It looked like Risky were about to sort of catch up, but it finishes at 16-10. So there it is.
Yeah, CyberZen showing just, well, basically what overconfidence can do to you. They could have closed this out, you know, 16-3, 16-4, but instead they just started, they just started playing, crazy CS where they just run around, force when they don't need to, well, rather force fights, not necessarily go for force buys. They were pretty good about managing their economy, but yeah, CyberZen, they're going to need to just cool off a little bit here if they want to take the first seed in this group.
Yeah, well, handshakes all around, and obviously Risky a little bit disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not exactly the start that they were looking for coming into this tournament, that's for sure. Those fly hoodies.
All right, well, we are ready with the analysts, so please, DDK, take it away for us.
Well, it wasn't quite how we expected it to go. I mean, we saw a lot of rounds get pulled back towards the end on T-side for Risky Gaming, but did seem to be that the inevitable was CyberZen's victory. So, actually, Moses, you've been practicing your Bardolph impressions, and considering that we are sans Bardolph at this event, you go ahead. Do the wrap-up, do your summrisy.
No, it's got to come naturally. It just comes in the heat of the moment, is Bardolph. But this is the thing. So they got, Risky was getting crushed in that first half. They actually close out the last 2 rounds of the half, and then they have a very good terrace half. And I think part of it is just, you could kind of see in the way they were playing early on, it was very loose. They did seem nervous, taking a lot of one-on-one battles, peeking, like aggressively peeking SCT into smokes, mistiming some of their nades behind it, couldn't get their economy under control. And those last 2 rounds of the first half, and then that run they went on to terrace half, it tells me that finally they just got a little bit more comfortable. They let something go. They're like, all right, guys, we just got smacked around in the first half. If we, let's just everybody calm down. No one's expecting anything out of us. We've gotten used to this crowd for an entire half. Let's just play our game. And actually, it started to look really, really good, how they were using Molotovs on the T side to clear out corners. Everything started to come together a little bit.
Yeah, no, you could definitely tell just by the way, for instance, Havoc was playing in that second half on the T side, just having, the confidence to actually go through smokes to try to find picks when you're all alone. Yeah, that's absolutely massive. But I think they definitely needed some adjustment time to get a good feel for what was going on in the game. And unfortunately, that's pretty rough to do when you're starting on the CT side of Cbble. Probably one of the worst maps where you could actually have the necessity of actually having that adjustment time. So that's unfortunate for them. But definitely a decent showing. They got way more rounds than I first expected them to get. And as for CyberZen, I think they showed some pretty severe weaknesses on their CT side.
What did we joke about yesterday during rehearsals, boys, that you both made fun of me for, is when I said that nothing good could come out of this match from CyberZen. Because that was the thing. I mean, they were the teams expected to have a big win. Now that they didn't, and they show weaknesses on the second half, now all of a sudden, maybe they feel a little bit shaky themselves. Maybe they feel a little bit less confident. So,
I was going to let that go.
Oh, I'm not. I'll never let that go.
No, but that's true. They can't feel comfortable about how they played their CT side. I think their A side defense was pretty shaky at best.
Yeah.
So there's definitely stuff for them to work with, and their rotations either were not quick enough or good enough. So that's not going to hold up against a team like Renegades or something like that.
Yeah.
At the later stages.
And it's probably not a match that Risky Gaming expected to win necessarily. So it is a kind of a nice warm up to the tournament, and they did get to play more rounds perhaps than even they expected, certainly more than we expected.
I think they're going to look much better in game 2.
Yeah, and that is the key factor, is that they do actually get a game 2. But it is time to go to a break soon. But first, guys, check out plays.tv. This is a little Chrome extension where you can make your own highlights of all the action here that you'll be seeing over at the Intel Extreme Masters, and you can share it with us over on the Twitters if you want the Twitters. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm gonna maybe I can make it a thing. But we'll see. You can share it over social media with us, your friends, and I mean, we're bound to see some cool plays out of the Asian scene here. So without further ado, we do have a quick break, and the next match will be the Chiefs versus MVP Carnal.